President Joe Biden is just weeks away from his one-year anniversary in office. While his administration has made some good moves since January, there are still many campaign promises that have seen slow progress, stalled, or just disappeared altogether. Millennials, aged 25 to 40, and Generation Z, those 24 and younger, are impatiently tapping their feet, waiting for the change promised by Biden and the Democrats. And a new survey from GenForward is hinting that more promises need to be kept before the upcoming 2022 midterms. Brakkton Booker is here to tell us more about that new survey and why young Americans want Biden to step up his game. Brakkton is a national political correspondent and author of the Recast newsletter for Politico. Good evening and welcome back to Amplified. Brakkton, I just want to get into this survey because it seems pretty split. You've got 39%, somewhat, hold on, do we have this on the screen? 39% somewhat or strongly approve of Biden, while 38% are saying, no, sir. Then about 22% were in the middle. But tell us, what do you think is actually causing this split among younger voters? There's the poll results there.
Well, thanks for having me. Look, I think there are multiple reasons for why you're not seeing this overwhelming support from younger voters with the Biden administration so far. When you're talking to folks who have doing the survey, and when you're talking to folks out in the country, they're just saying like, yeah, I was really excited to vote for the president. And, there was all this promise that the administration or the Biden as a candidate made, and we're just not seeing that come to fruition. Fast forward, almost a year now, and we're seeing this assault on voting rights that the administration has yet to really tackle. There's not been really an answer to states that have changed voting laws. There's no federal recourse for that just yet. And we're also talking to pollsters. They say like there are some victories that the administration has notched in its first year. They just haven't done a great job at selling their victories, and they're letting their opponents, the conservatives, the Republicans, kind of control the narrative here.
If all of this is all about narrative all the time, I got to say, if the only thing the politicians are thinking about doing is selling and selling and selling, then maybe something's wrong with the actual things that they're enacting because people aren't feeling them in their real lives. You shouldn't have to convince me something's good. I should feel that something's good. But that's a different conversation. I got to say, we keep wanting to affirm that Biden's gotten some things done, right? He's obviously been handling the pandemic way better than the last guy. And yet, let's be real, this presidency just feels kind of dull. A little bit boring, and it feels slow and sluggish, like nothing's actually moving and getting done. And there's a sense of unease that the spending bills, for example, aren't actually solving the problems that they aim to address. And then you've got GOP-led state houses that are coming up with all kind of ridiculous bills, slapping Democrats. The Democrats technically have control, and yet it doesn't feel like they're actually calling the shots. So am I onto something here, or are there other things at play that are adding to the sense of dissatisfaction?
Well, I think it's both and, right? You're seeing that, yes, to get spending bills across this narrowly divided Congress, you need to have your entire caucus, especially in the Senate, vote for the agenda that the president is setting forth. And that does not happen all the time. But look, case in point, you had Senator Raphael Warnock of Georgia give a forceful speech this week on the Senate floor, and he didn't name, Senator Manchin of West Virginia or Senator Sinema of Arizona by name, but he's kind of imploring them like, look, if we can bend the Senate rules to pass the debt ceiling to make sure our bills are paid, why aren't we able to do this on something as pivotal and inconsequential as voting rights? And when voters are seeing like, hey, okay, so no voting rights legislation right now. Okay, we're hearing all these bad news about supply chains. Am I going to get my Christmas gifts? I'm not sure. And then on top of some of these victories that were notched by the administration, like child care payments, they extended child care payments for folks that have kids. That's been going on for most of the year, but you don't see really the administration or its allies really selling this point. And these payments may stop this month if Congress doesn't act to expand it and get this enacted in the Build Back Better plan. So it just seems like there's this confluence of issues that are going on, and young people absolutely feel it. And not to mention, this is also a group of voters that historically doesn't really show out as much as older people in the midterm elections. And we have recent evidence in Virginia, like, this is not a good sign heading into year 2 of an administration that's facing strong headwinds heading into the midterm elections.
And you know what's so interesting about this? We're talking about millennials and Gen Z, right? And you got all these old white guys on the Hill, frankly, who want to sit around and talk about debt and the deficit. And oh my God, we got to like run our credit card up as the U.S. government, you know, some more and increase the debt ceiling and blah, 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 blah. But you would think that they would want to make a down payment on Gen Z and millennials, who are the voting bloc of the future, by actually helping them pay off their debt. And I'm going to throw my Gen X self into this mix too, because what happened to student loan forgiveness? Remember that? Like, that was a thing. Biden ran on it. He said that he was going to cancel some parts of student debt, etc. And now here we are. He committed to canceling, you know, at least $10,000 per borrower. That hasn't exactly happened in a way that everybody's been able to feel. Earlier this week, he announced that the COVID relief pause on student loan payments would indeed be lifted earlier in the early part of next year. And people are calling this a betrayal, frankly, to his voters, and saying that he's angering the largest voting bloc in the country, a voting bloc that actually helped push him over the finish line in the 2020 general election. And so we're talking about millennials and Gen Z and how to get them animated. Yo, what is up with student loans? And do we think that this is an issue that's really going to ultimately bite this administration in the butt when it comes to midterms and the Democrats, you know, probably losing the House over it?
I mean, right now it's take your pick, but I think that is certainly important to younger voters who are in college or just recent graduates who have like mountains of debt that they're trying to pay off as they're trying to figure out their next career move or try to get that first job, and also try to navigate all the hurdles that the pandemic has brought on. So yeah, this just adds to the litany of items that the administration has to tackle. And as I mentioned, the headwinds coming into 22, I mean, really, we're trying to see how this administration is going to get out and sell some of those victories. And right now, when you're seeing issues about supply chain, when you're seeing issues about can he get his signature agenda item across the finish line, it does not bode well for what we're looking at in 2022. And it's very clear that he's not going to get much Republican support on getting any of this agenda passed. So he's really between a rock and a hard place, and it's getting tighter and tighter as the weeks and months go on.
Yeah, you kind of alluded to this a bit when you mentioned Virginia, but I want to kind of get into that 2022. It's about to be 2022, literally in a couple of weeks. Yeah. And the November midterms are coming up. And I think about this as like, we got 9 months to birth a baby here. Like, that's all we've got. We've got 9 months, literally, until we get to those midterms. And it's going to be a fight to see who really will have control over how the country's run, because the balance of power in Congress is like up in the air at this point. The survey actually found that more than 2/3 of eligible young voters say that they're actually going to cast a ballot in the midterms. But then you've got 31% that are like, I don't really know about that. I don't really know if I'm going to vote. So I'm wondering, what do you think? Do you think that this is typical? Should Biden and company be worried about voter turnout? Is this what we should just expect with voter turnout? Especially, given all of the voter suppression laws that have come up and the things that, governments in a lot of these states are doing to try to thwart young people from turning out, especially when you have exciting folks like, say, a Stacey Abrams on the ballot. They're going to try to keep them at home. So what do you think that Biden should be looking at in terms of stimulating the electorate?
Well, that's a good question, because you don't have Trump on the ballot in the midterms, right? You have this specter of Trump, but Trump is not going to be on there as this foil. And again, they tried that in Virginia, and it did not work. They tried to tie the Republican now governor-elect to Trump, and it did not work because that candidate kept Trump at arm's length. So if you have a candidate or Biden's party, you have the top of the ticket, or the person who's in the White House, not very popular. his agenda items are not getting across the finish line, it's really hard to get the electorate excited to come out next year. Yes, in Georgia, that's really where the eyes of the nation are going to be watching to see how Georgia turns out, right? Because Stacey Abrams is such an electric candidate, and it's going to be a showdown and a rematch of 2018. But you can't duplicate that kind of excitement in these local House and Senate races across the country. There's no Stacey Abrams running in all these congressional districts, right? There are some, but like nobody's got that star power there. So if you're not excited about the leader of the party, it's really hard to see how you're going to get all these folks across the country to turn out when Biden's not on the ticket. You don't have the Trump effect, and it's really about pushing out your voters, your hardcore voters, and trying to get them excited. That's why it's really stark that you're seeing these number of young people saying like, I don't know if I'm feeling voting right now. I came out last year,
they're a little bit bored.
And what did it get me?
They're feeling underwhelmed. I hear that. Well, Brakkton, thank you so much for joining us to break all this down. Brakkton Booker with Politico. Follow his newsletter, The Recast. Go ahead and sign up for that. We always appreciate your voice here on Amplified, and happy holidays to you. We'll have you back in the new year.